Okay, students, today we're going to go through the work that we did yesterday and also the math journal for today. So please make sure that you have done your work for yesterday before you watch this video. Okay, now this is a very familiar question. We have done many of this before. In fact, even question 6 in this practice is also similar to this. Let's apply Polia's method when we read the question. Now, the first step is to understand the question. Samantha baked some chocolate cookies for a sale. Okay, this part is just the background, so don't have to highlight this. She packed them into 65 jars of 8 cookies each. Okay, let's pause here for a while. To understand this carefully, there are 65 jars of 8 cookies. That means there are 65 groups of 8 cookies. Can I say that again? There are 65 groups of 8 cookies each. That means one of these is the quotient and one of this is the divisor. Okay, so I'm just going to make 65 as the quotient and 8 as the divisor. Okay, 65 is the quotient and 8 is the divisor. And when you can actually write this out, the question becomes much easier to do. Okay, now after she packed all these cookies into 65 jars, she had 6 left. When you see the word left, you know that this is the remainder. So I'm just going to put a R next to it. Okay, short form for remainder. Now, we have done questions like this before. If you recall, there was a question about packing cakes into boxes, okay, that we did, I think, last week. Okay, so go and take a look at that video so you can remember. Now, they're asking you to find what is the total. How many chocolate cookies did she bake? Okay, so how many chocolate cookies in total did she bake? This is the dividend. Okay, this is the dividend. Now, can you all see this equation that I wrote here? Dividend equals quotient times divisor plus remainder. I have said this many times. This is not the first time. You should find this very familiar. Please memorize this formula and understand why this formula is so. Okay, I've already explained it previously, so I will not do it today. Now, when you have this formula, you can easily solve the question. So let's look at this. Dividend is the one that we are not sure, right? So dividend, we're not sure. This is the total number of cookies. Quotient is 65. Divisor is 8. Remainder is 6. You see, once we make sense of the question, once we know the equation, we can easily solve it. Okay, we can easily solve it. Now this part is actually two steps. You got to solve the multiplication first. You have to do the working yourself. Okay, but if you do the working, you realize that actually 65 times 8 is 520. Then you add 6, you get 526. Sorry, cookies. Okay, again, the working is not the difficult part. It's how you make sense of the question and how do you summarize the question into an equation like the one that I wrote over here. Okay, this is a very important equation. Let's move on. Question number 2. Esther paid $125 for 5 similar blouses. Okay, so she paid a total of $125 for 5 similar blouses. So immediately, very simple. Just look at the first line first. Okay, we have to simplify the first line into a model. Okay, this is what we call translation of the information from words and numbers into a diagram. Step 2 of Polia. Okay, so there are 5 blouses, right? There are 5 blouses. Let me just draw the model. Okay, there are 5 blouses. They are all similar. So if they are similar, you just put 1U, 1U, 1U. Some of you may want to put 1B because B stands for blouse, up to you. But I like to use the 1U because it's something that everyone is familiar with. The total is $125. So right here, you can even find out how much does one blouse cost. we're not going to do that yet. We just read on to see what else the question is asking. Priya bought 9 such blouses from the same shop. So that means the blouse cost the same. They are exactly the same as the ones that Esther bought. Okay, what Priya bought is the same as what Esther bought. So how much did Priya pay? How much did Priya pay? Okay, so this not that challenging if you actually draw the model. If you didn't draw the model, yes, it can be very challenging. But if you draw the model out, then okay, you will understand. Okay, so let's see how much a blouse costs. 5U equals to $125. So 1U equals to 125 divided by 5, and that's actually $25. Again, you have to work this out yourself. I am doing this as a solution. Okay, so you have to work out the the division yourself. Okay, so one blouse costs $25. So 9 blouses equals to 9 times 25. Okay, I am not going to do this. You are going to work it out yourself. I show you how to write the working out, and you have to find the answer yourself. Okay, because I don't think that I want to show you how to do a 2-digit multiplication. You have to really practice this yourself. Okay, let's move on to the math journal. Now, this is a interesting situation where they give you the question and ask you to, sorry, they give you the answer and ask you to come up with a question. But let's look at this question and see what are the information that needs to be written down in the question. Okay, firstly, by looking at this, this is a comparison model. Okay, this is a comparison model. Okay, and what kind of comparison model is this? Well, there is a given variable, and this given variable is actually Dr. Wang. Okay, Dr. Wang, 89. Okay, now what is this 89? Well, we're not sure yet. We'll find out later when we read on. Okay, now next is there's a question mark over here as the total. That means the question, the last line. Okay, I repeat, the last line has to be what is the total? Okay, so this is an unknown total. Okay, okay, so what is 89? Let's read on. So you see the working, it says 89 times 2 equals 178. So 89 times 2 equals 178. This shows me that this and this, these two boxes are actually the same size. Okay, that means Dr. Krishnan has twice of whatever Dr. Wang has. Okay, so this is 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit. I repeat, that means that Dr. Krishnan has twice of whatever Dr. Wang has. We don't know what 89 stands for. Okay, it could be 89 clinics, 89 uh, t-shirts, shoes, or something, but we're not sure. We read on. Okay, after that, 178 plus 89 equals 267. Aha, look at the statement here. Both doctors saw 267 patients. So this is a question about how many patients they have. So actually, right, this 89 is the number of patients that Dr. Wang has. Okay, so actually we already have a lot of information already. Number one, we know that Dr. Wang has 89 patients. Number two, Dr. Krishnan has twice the number of patients that Dr. Wang has. Okay, and number three, we want to find out how many did they have in total. So if we write this down, there are actually 3 statements. The first statement is the given variable. Okay, Dr. Wang has or had, sorry, I think should be a past tense. I want to use proper English. In fact, I'll use the word saw. 89 patients. Okay, we got this information from here. I'm going to label this as number one. Okay, because that's where we got the information from. here is the given variable number 1. So you see, watch. First sentence, Dr. Wang saw 89 patients. Where do we get this information from? From here, the model itself, there's a given variable. And over here, this comparison model is a given variable also. So we have to make sure that this is mentioned in the question. Okay, now second sentence. Okay, Dr. Krishnan saw, hold on, Dr. Krishnan saw twice as many patients as Dr. Wang. And how do we get this information? Very simple. We got it from the first line of working that was given to us. So this is number 2. I will label this to show where we got the information from. Okay, and we also got it from here. Okay, the second line of the model. And finally, we got to ask the real question that which is what the question is asking, which is how many patients did both doctors see altogether? Okay, where did we get this information from? We got it from here. We got it from here, and we got it from the sentence, and of course we got it from here. Okay, now you can arrange the first and second line of the question the opposite way, is up to you, or even phrase it differently. For example, the third line you can say, how many patients did both see in all? Okay, it's up to you. Okay, but the idea is there are 3 pieces of information that must be in the question.